Okay, so we are going over the post-closing occupancy agreement form. So if you go to create new contract, when you're writing an offer, or if you're already under contract and need to create this form, you'll scroll down to addendum, and right smack dab in the middle is that post-closing occupancy agreement. So you'll hit create selected contract and this form will open up. So the purpose of this form, it is a short-term residential occupancy by the seller post-closing, right? It's like a mini contract going over the timeline, who's in charge of maintenance, if any damage occurs, access to the property, utilities and who's responsible for those, and insurance. Usually you will know ahead of time, this might be in the MLS, or the listing agent will tell you, hey, the seller needs a rent back, a 30-day, a 60-day rent back. Create this document at the time of going under contract. Still do this document if it's just a day or two of post-closing. Weirder things have happened. If the house burns down or something, you're going to wish you had this in place. So the timeline for this document can only be for occupancy up to 60 days. Any agreement needing to be longer than that requires the buyer and seller to execute a lease outside of the real estate contract and forms that we can use. So as we scroll down through the document, you'll see agreement, possession, maintenance, damage, buyer access, restoration, rent. That's a big deal here. Just know that and rent and deposits, actually. You'll see in section 15, rent and deposits. So you cannot take a deposit and charge zero in rent, right? That's illegal in the state of Colorado. A deposit of up to 2 months' rent can be requested, but you can't have zero rent and only a security deposit. The deposit is to protect the buyer from closing to when possession is delivered, right? So it can't be for anything prior to closing, even if the buyer didn't notice it. So do a walkthrough before and after, because you can't wrongfully withhold a deposit back for something that wasn't damage happening during the occupancy period, right? Utilities, always get questions about this. So you'll see water, sewers a section, and electricity and gas. Water is typically transferred at closing by the title company, so the buyer will pay for the water, but the seller can continue to pay for gas and electric with Excel or whatever company they might be using. A really important section is this insurance policy, the renter policy that the seller will need to get, and then the buyer having their homeowner's policy in place, right? So the seller must maintain that renter's insurance policy, and the buyer must maintain their owner's policy. Make sure that the seller provides proof of insurance for their renter's policy at or before closing. So feel free to send these to me as well. I'm happy to review them, like your team leader, your managing broker, your mentor. Happy to review these and make sure they're right before submitting.